Welcome to the Vibrant You Health Show with your host, Blake Bars. At Nature's Pantry, our mission is to lead you to vibrant health through the best nutrition, supplementation, service, expertise, and healthy choices. In this show, we aren't interested in fads or quick fixes. Rather, we want to get into the holistic fundamentals of health. We want to answer questions like, what are the underlying causes to health issues, and what solutions can help lead us to vibrant health? You can watch every episode and listen to the podcast by visiting our website at naturespantry.life. The Vibrant You Health Show is brought to you by Terry Naturally Vitamins and Solar Ray Vitamins. At Nature's Pantry, we strive to work only with companies that maintain the highest standards for quality and efficacy. Terry Naturally and Solar Ray are two of the absolute best.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome everybody to, this is actually not just the 7-day reset class, but it's also episode 47 of the Vibrant You Health Show. So welcome all of you who have come in person. Thanks for being here tonight. And hello to everybody who's going to be watching online. So I am very grateful and honored to have my special guest presenter tonight, Miss Nicole. She is renowned as the health hustler, as we like to call her. And she has been a huge part of the Nature's Pantry team and part of the health challenges that y'all are a part of. And she's a great health coach, fitness coach, nutrition coach, cleanse and detox coach. You name it, we can keep going. So,
right, that's a long list.
Yeah, so, and also a chef. And she makes some amazing plant-based recipes, very clean, very healthy, very whole food, everything the body needs. And so tonight we're doing the 7-day reset, and this is a program that Nicole developed over the last several years. Nicole, do you want to tell us just a quick summary about what the program is?
It is a vacation from processed foods and animal products. So today we live in a very over-toxic world, if you will. Everything in our environment and our food and you name it, we have things coming at us left and right. So the best thing we can do is put good stuff in our body. And there's a saying I used to love, we are what we eat. But now I don't believe that anymore. I believe we are what we absorb. So when we're eating food, we're only as good as what we're able to absorb from our food. And that's where a reset like this comes in. It helps you get your body back to balance, rejuvenate, reset, restore with whole, alive foods. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried to be quick. It just doesn't happen.
That was really good. Yeah, Misty and I have done this several times now, and we always benefit greatly. I think anytime you get away from processed food and you focus on real whole food, and I think there's something particularly healing when you actually abstain from animal products for a period of time. Gives your body, because animal products take more energy to digest, and so when you are not taking those in, your body can put extra energy into healing. So, do you want to just dive in and talk the program? I kind of figure
Yes.
Maybe half an hour on the program, and then half an hour we go down through the store and do the tour.
And the tour won't take that long, probably
So maybe
15-ish.
So maybe we'll go 45, 15?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Perfect. Thanks, Nicole. I'm going to turn it over.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nicole. I'm a holistic health and fitness coach, and I used to be really sick myself in my late teens and all throughout my 20s. I was always in pain, always had digestive problems, and literally hated life, to tell you the truth. I smoked a lot of cigarettes, I ate a lot of processed food, and I just didn't believe that that was making me sick. I literally thought, if the government allowed me to eat McDonald's, then McDonald's must be fine for me. So I'm much different than I used to be, but it's just kind of funny because I know that mindset. I know where most people are coming from when it's switching over and it's more expensive and, the doctor told me, well, take these pills or do this, and it can just be hard and overwhelming. So I've come a long way. Back in 2011, I decided to take my health into my own hands. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I was diagnosed with endometriosis and something called interstitial cystitis. I do not have ulcerative colitis today. They say interstitial cystitis is an incurable disease, but we'll see about that. I control it with my diet and lifestyle. Endometriosis is another one of those things they say you can never get rid of, but again, we'll see about that. I control everything with my diet and my lifestyle. So this reset kind of is how I eat most of the time. I went vegan for a few years for my health reasons. I literally just started introducing red meat back into my diet, just a little bit. My husband is a hunter, so wild game is the best choice, obviously, and then fish as well. But enough about me. Let's talk about the 7-day reset. So I developed this reset because I very much like to cleanse and detox, but I still like to eat food. And so over the years, with all of my healing and all of the tools and all of the classes and trainings and certifications that I've done, I've put this together because this is what I believe to be the best thing to heal the body. So for instance, we're going to be just eating basically a vegan plant-based diet. You can have honey on the reset if you wish, but no processed foods, no animal foods, no cane sugar, that sort of thing. So we're going to nutrify, alkalize, and detoxify our bodies, give our body a vacation from processed foods and animal products. You can choose to do this for 1 day, 7 days, or go all the way up to 10 days. We're going to learn how to be self-sufficient in the kitchen with these recipes and these whole foods. And part of the problem in the kitchen is people say, I just don't know what to do. I see all these vegetables and I don't know what to do with them. So these recipes are your guidelines to be able to just whip something up in the kitchen in 30 minutes or less. So you'll notice if you turn to the next page really quick where the breakfast is, we just had the oat waffles here. I made them for the class before we started. Guys, how were the oat waffles? Awesome. Okay, so the oat waffles, I just want to say, they are nothing but these oats here. Can the camera see that, you think? Oats, coconut milk, which this is just coconut and water. Oh, okay. Coconut and water. Then we have some vanilla powder. So this is just ground vanilla beans. Oh, okay. And then we also have some plain coconut yogurt. And then water. So there's nothing weird in there, nothing funky. Of course, it's not going to be like a regular wheat waffle, but you heard from everybody here tonight, they loved the oat waffles. So chances are you're going to love the other recipes too. And that oat waffle recipe is just a base again, like I said. So you could literally add anything you wanted to it. You can add cinnamon, you can add vanilla, you can add other things. The point is, I want you guys to be creative and have fun. So again, just use the recipes as a guideline for you. Feel free to add in anything that's a whole, alive, plant-based food. And if you don't like an ingredient, just leave it out. Just as simple as that. And so my approach is very much Hippocrates. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Fresh food is fast food, you guys. So if you're starving and you're in a hurry, apples. I mean, seriously, you can just grab an apple, a pear, a banana, anything like that. It's certainly much better than having a granola bar with empty calories or a Snickers bar or something else that we would normally grab in its place. So just remember, fresh is always best. You're going to get more nutrition from it. You're going to get vitamins, minerals, all of those good things for your body. And so just remember to have fun, have your own experience, and experiment in the kitchen. And then some thing that I really love is to be the change that you want to see. So most of us here who are interested in the reset plan, we already kind of know that we have some things going on that we might want to address or that we need to take action on. It's no coincidence that we're sitting here together, right? So in order to make that happen, you have to be the change that you want to see. If we want the things in our life to change, we have to change the things in our life. And that can start with something as simple as just eating more whole, alive foods or doing this type of eating plan for one day. And then, of course, what in the world are we eating? Real foods, leafy greens, sprouts, cruciferous veggies, fruits, whole grains, beans, legumes, whole food supplementation, whole food nutrition. And we kind of already touched on the breakfast options, but oat waffles are amazing. The millet porridge, another one of my favorites. It's different than anything you've had before. If you grew up eating anything like cream of wheat or malto meal, you'll probably like the millet porridge. It's not going to be like cream of wheat or malto meal, but in my opinion, it's better. So also chia pudding, high in protein. Chia has all those omegas, plus they're amazing for digestion and lubricating the intestines. Or you could choose to do a smoothie instead if you're in a hurry. And in the smoothie, I want to talk about ingredients for a minute. Wild blueberries, they're one of my absolute favorite foods on the planet. If you have any condition under the sun, try bringing wild blueberries into your life. They are amazing. They are the most adaptogenic food, even more so than mushrooms. And wild huckleberries, we are lucky because we live in this area where wild huckleberries grow in our mountains. They are the same as wild blueberries with the healing properties and the nutritional values. So if you have wild huckleberries in your freezer, feel free to use those in the place of the wild blueberries. But wild blueberries, wild huckleberries, they will survive fire and come back, which is why they're so adaptogenic. When you freeze them, they actually get stronger because they have to adapt to being frozen. So when we eat them frozen, they actually do more magic inside of our body, which is absolutely amazing. I kind of nerd out about this stuff. Like I said, I'm all about food as medicine. So I feel like when we know what foods are doing for us, when we eat them, we're more likely to eat them. And then the cool thing is when we're thinking about what the food is doing for us when we eat it, we're thinking about what it's doing for us, if that makes sense. So we are taking the properties of that food. We're healing better because we're consciously aware of why we're eating it. So for instance, if we're eating something from, say, a fast food restaurant, we have a burger, we have fries, maybe we have a salad. The salad is probably not that great because it's iceberg lettuce. Then you drench it in dressing, which is full of hydrogenated oils and MSG and all of those things. So really, you're getting a little bit of water with a whole bunch of oils and bad other chemicals and processed ingredients if you eat a salad at fast food. If you're eating a burger and fries, there's no nutritional value in that. So what happens is we eat that, we get hungry later. Why are we hungry? Our cells are literally starving. They're saying, I need nutrition, I need vitamins, I need minerals. That's where all of these whole alive foods come in. So just remember that when you are eating, are you eating something that's fueling your cells, providing your cells with vitamins, minerals, nutrients, or are you eating something that's void of those things and honestly just making a turd, to tell you the truth? Or maybe not, because those things cause constipation too. So, just being real here. But also, on another funny note, talking about poop can be uncomfortable for some people too. Me, I used to be so afraid to talk about poop. And when I found out that I had ulcerative colitis at 22 years old, I was mortified. It was the most horrible thing in the world. Now, obviously, today I can talk about it comfortably with no shame, but that's one of the biggest things about a digestive disorder and constipation is literally death in our colon. We are rotting from the inside out when we're constipated and when things are not moving through our body. So doing a plant-based reset like this with all of these whole foods, providing you fiber, providing you the fibrous lubrication from the good fats, the fibers from the vegetables to scrape those intestinal walls to help your body get rid of that waste.
That's right, Nicole. Actually, at Nature's Pantry, we always joke that if you want somebody to talk about poop with, or your poop with, come talk to us, because we talk about it all day, every day. And we'll talk about enemas, we'll talk about suppositories, we'll talk about the shape, form, size. We will be your friend. So don't be ashamed. We are there for you.
Yeah. What does it look like? I mean, is it runny? That's a big deal. If you have runny poop all the time, you got some stuff going on in your gut. So anyways, I know we can talk about that all day long, but let's talk about food now after that really quick. So we were just talking about the wild blueberries and how amazing they are and why they're like my number one favorite food in the reset. But then there's apples and pears too, which are amazing for our intestinal tract. Apples can actually improve SIBO. Pears can help get rid of fatty deposits in the liver. They both are great for the liver and the intestines. I don't know, does anybody remember back in the day when you would eat pork, you had to have applesauce with it? Some of you do? Okay, some of you do, some of you don't. So the whole point of that was because you were eating the fatty meat, you needed the applesauce, the pectin from the apples, and all the properties from the apples to help your liver and your intestines get rid of the fat from the meat. So back in the day, my best friend's 100-year-old grandma was telling us about it, and I was like, I didn't even realize it was a thing. And she said they never served pork without applesauce for that reason, because it helped get rid of the fats from the pork. So keep that in mind. If you're eating a lot of fatty things, apples can help get rid of those fat deposits. But not only can they do that, they have a bunch of amino acids in them. They're anti-inflammatory, trace minerals, and they can aid in weight loss because, again, they are getting rid of things on the intestinal lining. So a lot of the time when we start a program like this, we can drop weight really fast, and some people get worried about that. I want to tell you, though, it's probably okay, because it could just be inflammation or water weight. So if you guys decide to do the reset and you notice, oh my gosh, I dropped 10 pounds in 5 days, don't panic. Please reach out to me, of course, so that I can see your individual situation. But most of the time, we lose inflammation and water weight first. So it is, if we are a bigger person and we have more to lose, it's not a scary thing to lose a bunch of weight at first when you're switching to a whole food plant-based diet. So just keep that in mind. And that's why we can start to feel so good after just 4 or 5 days on something like this, because we're giving our body that vacation from processed foods like we were talking about. Our cells are able to detox like they're supposed to. And then also if you do the suggestions in the reset, like when you wake up and you go for a little walk, you're getting your lymphatic system moving. And our lymphatic system can't detox itself. We have to help it. So that's why it's so important to move the body, especially first thing in the morning and after you eat a meal. And then let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, I was thinking, you reminded me, Nicole, this whole program, it's really cool because remember when we were going through some of that old paperwork of Linda's?
Yeah.
And what we found was that Linda had written a program. Linda Clayville, she founded Nature's Pantry like in '86. So that was 37 years ago. And she wrote a lot of programs. And one of the things was, it was really cool because we found a program that she had written that was very similar to this. And this always reminds me, Nicole's program always reminds me, as she was talking about how the body can heal and the cells can get what they need and your body can get a break and you at least a vibrant health. Well, it always reminds me of the story in the book of Daniel in the Bible when Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were taken captive by King Nebuchadnezzar, And he was giving them all the food because he wanted them to be great in the servants of his kingdom. And he said, no, don't give us that food. It's against our religion. Give us vegetables and water. And the guard was like, no way, I'm not going to do that. They're going to kill me. And he said, just do it for 10 days. And if we're not healthier than everybody else, then you can do what you need to do. So they did it for 10 days. And after 10 days, they were smarter and more healthy than everybody in the kingdom. So that's a really good example of what powerful principles of just giving your body a break from some of the crap can do in a short period.
Yes, I love that story. That's a good one. So moving on, we'll talk about lunch and dinner, filling our plates with plenty of vegetables. So vegetables, as you guys know, good source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants. They are essential so that we can thrive. I have been eating this way for a few years now, mostly just vegetables. When I first started out, I started just switching things. I was still very much eating processed foods. I would just buy organic junk food. And I was getting better, but of course, still having tons of symptoms because I was still eating lots of junk food. And then I noticed when I actually started to implement eating more plants, paying attention to how much I was consuming, cutting out all the sugar, I dropped inflammation. I actually stopped getting bloated all the time. I was able to go to the bathroom every day, have a few bowel movements a day, whereas before I probably was lucky to go poop like 3 times a week, honestly. It was that bad. So essential for thriving, vegetables, fruits, whole foods for sure, and especially for our digestion. And that is the number one thing that is so messed up today is the digestion. And I know some of you are already thinking, I can't eat vegetables because I get bloated. That's when you really need to start gently steaming your vegetables. And then the only way to get over that, take digestive enzymes and keep eating them, because part of the problem is our bodies aren't used to those fresh foods anymore. So you put a fresh food in there and it's like, oh God, I have gas, I have to fart, like I have to pee, I don't know what's going on. What did you do to me? Your body's freaking out. It's like, what is this foreign substance? But at the same time, it's also taking vitamins and minerals and taking nutrients from the food if your guts are allowing it to. So that's why digestive enzymes and probiotics are so important. And I'll go through the actual whole reset in just a second. I keep kind of getting off topic. I want to talk about coconut really quickly. So I have coconut in the reset, and I encourage people to use it because coconut is also another one of those really amazing foods. It has properties like monolaurin in it, which is like mother's milk, so breast milk. And they actually gave it to soldiers in the war when they ran out of IV fluid. How crazy is that? Now, I wouldn't want my vein pumped full of coconut water, but in an emergency, it's good to know that you can use it because it's so hydrating. And it's so close to our own blood plasma. And something else really cool about coconut is that when you eat it, it actually increases other foods that you eat it with's ability to help your body detox. So the properties that are already in those other foods, when you mix them with coconut, they actually become more powerful and help your body detox even more. So coconut, wild blueberries, apples, pears, those things are all so amazing. And lemons and limes, of course, too, absolutely wonderful. Help your body alkalize the pH, help your body get rid of waste and toxins. That's why I suggest we put them in our water first thing in the morning and then use them all over our salads and our dinners and our lunches. Pretty much you can put lemon and lime on everything, and there really is no too much lemon or lime while you're doing the reset. It's going to help your body get rid of more fat deposits, and it's going to help you get rid of a lot of other toxins too, because when we're sleeping, our body is working hard to get rid of all of those toxins, and when we wake up, we're still very much detoxing. So that's why drinking lemon water first thing in the morning is so important, because it helps your body and your vital organs flush those toxins out. And then the walk afterward if you can, to get the lymph flowing, to get even more toxins out of your body. And so when you are doing that, keep in mind too, if you're a coffee drinker, I'm not going to tell you not to drink coffee during the reset. I would suggest you drink matcha tea instead or a green tea instead. But here's the biggest thing. When we first wake up in the morning, because we're still detoxing, our liver shouldn't have fat right away. So I have on the first page of the reset, you'll notice that you want to wait at least an hour before eating or drinking any fat in the morning. So if you put like half and half, a plant-based half and half or something in your coffee or in your tea, you want to wait at least an hour because the fat will hinder your detoxification process, and you want your liver to be able to get rid of everything that it was working on. Otherwise, it has to stop what it's doing, stuff those toxins somewhere it can fit them, and then take what's coming in at it, if that makes sense, because it always has to deal with the right now. So just keep that in mind. And of course, like I said, I would prefer you not drink the coffee. I'd prefer you try matcha tea instead. But if it's a deal breaker for you, drink the coffee. I have a few clients who do this reset and they still drink their coffee and they still get really great results. But I also have a few who are coffee drinkers, and when they do it, they just drink matcha tea and they get even better results. I'm not against coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but the research I've done on coffee is it can be good for us in so many ways, but also it can rob our bones of minerals. And that's one of the reasons why I don't prefer coffee, is because it literally robs your bones. So moving on, in between meals, drink plenty of herbal teas, water. Of course, you can have kombucha if you want to, but just make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. And in the morning, if you don't want to mix the lemon water up, you can drink an herbal tea instead. And I'll show you guys those when we go downstairs. I do have a couple of recommended supplements on here. We talked about digestive enzymes and probiotics a little bit already. So remember, we are what we absorb. And if our intestines and guts are sick and we're having symptoms, 9 times out of 10, we need digestive enzymes so that we can digest our food, cut the gas, cut the bloating, and absorb all of the nutrition from the whole alive foods.
Yeah, that's a really good point on the enzymes. Actually chewing your food really well, 20 or 30 times until it's applesauce, then your cheeks, you'll feel, when you chew your food enough, you'll actually feel your cheeks excrete enzymes. And you'll feel like some moisture come into the mouth. And that's the beginning of the digestive process. Plus, you're going to absorb it way better if it's chewed up, if it's masticated well. And the digestive enzymes, you hear people always talk about vitamins and minerals, but you don't hear the enzyme piece very much. And actually, like she said, you got to be able to absorb it. And vitamins and minerals and enzymes work synergistically all together.
Yes, thank you, Blake. Milk thistle, that's another thing I recommend you can take. We don't have the tea, but we do have the supplements downstairs. But it's amazing for the liver and getting rid of toxins. And gut health is so important, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, liver health is at the top because our liver is our filter. And if our liver is not processing and filtering, then everything is just a mess. So it starts here by taking care of that liver and the gut together. So taking something like milk thistle can help improve that liver function. And that's why I suggest staying away from fat first thing in the morning as well to help that liver function. Then I recommend some MSM if you're up for it, if you have a lot of aches and pains, or if you just want extra detoxing. MSM gets into the cells, so it detoxes at the cellular level. Plus, it's really great for the joints and the connective tissues. So if you have old injuries or pains or arthritis or anything, if you wake up stiff and sore, MSM is a really great thing. But it can also help with symptoms because, again, it gets inside of the cell and detoxes at the cellular level. And then niacin is something else that you could choose to take. If you already have it, that's great. And that's something I don't want you guys to feel like you have to go buy all these supplements. They're literally just extra recommendations. Start with the food first, and then if you feel the need, you can add the extra supplements. But the niacin is great because it actually can help the arteries detox some plaque. And if you take it before you go on a walk, it can help that when you're active, it can help detox that lymph system a little bit more. Hey, it's Nicole Haggerty, your holistic health and fitness coach. If you want to improve your health and life and get lasting results, you have to be the change you want to see. Let me help you be that change. Find me at NicoleHaggerty.com.
Hey, Eastern Oregon. My name is Justin Hernandez. I specialize in sports performance training for middle school, high school, and college athletes. My program goal is to optimize an athlete's potential on all playing surfaces. The Breakfast Club motto is creating elite athletes, but even better leaders.
This is Summer Steele of Body Seorsa. I am a licensed massage therapist and certified personal trainer. I work with bodies of all shapes, sizes, and abilities to help them live a fuller and freer life. Connect with me on Instagram and Facebook under Body Seorsa, Body Saorsa, or contact me at 541-786-5245.
My name is Blake Bars, and I'm General Manager of Nature's Pantry here in La Grande. I had a terribly unhealthy lifestyle when I started working here. I just didn't know how simple and powerful healthy habits could be. Now I love being able to lead others to vibrant health here at the store, through the health show, and in the health challenges we host twice per year. Learn more at naturespantry.life.
Hey friends, Lacey here with Wild Holistic Nutrition and Fitness. As a certified personal trainer and holistic nutritionist with 17 years of experience, I'm passionate about guiding others in their journey to wellness. I work in the areas of sports performance, group and individual fitness, personal training, behavioral and nutritional coaching, and gut biome health and assessment. I'd love to help you feel good so that you can thrive and meet the purpose you were made for.
Tim James here, founder of ChemicalFreeBody.com and host of the Health Hero Show. After regaining my own health and having massive gut issues and surgery, I'm on a mission to help others do the same. If you're ready to make your health a priority, lose that weight, increase your energy, and just wake up and feel good, you can reach me at ChemicalFreeBody.com.
And then I recommend that you get a notebook or a journal, write down your symptoms, write down anything that's going on. If you ate something and you feel off, or maybe you just feel good, write that down too. But it's really important when you're doing something like this for you to track your own progress. That's why I recommend writing it in a notebook, or you can use the page on here. It's just there's not a lot of room. But writing down your weight, your mood, your sleep, being conscious of how you're feeling, listening to your body. So that's part of where we get off track too these days, is we're not actually able to listen to our body's signals anymore because we're so overburdened and so overtaxed. But when you stop eating all of that processed food, your body will be sending you signals, and you're gonna be more in tune to hear those signals because you don't mask them with all of the symptoms from the processed food, if that makes sense. So normally, when you do a program like this, after you finish, if you reintroduce, say, like if you just go right out and eat a cheeseburger and fries, you may have some adverse reactions. I've had clients call me and be like, your cleanse messed me up. I just went and ate a cheeseburger and fries, and I'm bloated and I feel sick. And I was like, well, actually, the cleanse didn't mess you up. What happened is you gave your body a vacation from that shit, and then your body said, oh, I don't like this, and I'm letting you know right now. And because you're not eating it every day, it's even more intense. So you notice right away. So if that happens, just know that's your body saying, I don't like this, please don't put this in. And then too, while you're doing the reset, you can have adverse reactions as well. Detoxing can be kind of intense for some people. Some of us have more toxins in our bodies than others do. And so if you have headaches, diarrhea, nausea, fatigue, joint pain, stuff like that, just know that it is normal and it lasts for about 4 days most of the time. Usually 2 to 3 days, but if you have a higher toxic load, it will probably end up lasting about 4 days. But if that happens, please reach out to me so that I can help you along the process. Sometimes we can readjust things. Maybe you're drinking too much water in some cases and not getting enough minerals. And so in that case, I would have you back off or put pink salt in your water, just an example. Sometimes people can get constipated when they're doing something like this too, just because it's different. And in that case, I would have you obviously drink a little bit more water, maybe some slippery elm or marshmallow root or something like that to get things flowing. So just remember, if you're having any kind of problems, my number is on this sheet. Please text me. You don't have to call if you don't want to. You can text, and that's super fine with me too. So after you write down how you're feeling, be sure to check in with yourself every couple of days. Keep writing down your symptoms, how you're feeling, that sort of thing. And then if you want to, you can track your weight. It's not important, though. I don't want you guys to feel like this is about weight at all, because it's not. It's really just about detoxing, getting rid of toxins, heavy metals, because when we're so toxic, it messes up our brain too. You know, the gut-brain connection is so real, and we produce all of our hormones down here. And then, of course, when we just have all of these toxins, our hormones get out of whack. And then our mind can be a little crazy sometimes too, because we're malnourished, basically. So just remember, eat as many foods as you wish within the guidelines, especially if you're feeling sick or if you're having detoxification symptoms. If you're feeling angry or cranky, that's another symptom. So just remember, you can eat as much food as you want. You don't have to eat just what the recipes say, as long as it's a whole, alive, plant-based food. And of course, if you have questions, reach out to me. So on here, I also have treat your body as a temple. I want to ask you guys, what does that mean to you? Does anybody want to answer? Anybody? Yes, that's a good answer. And there's no right answer for this. I just wanted to hear what anybody thought. So to me, yes, that is, I'm only going to put things in my body that I know are good for me. I'm only going to, buy foods for my refrigerator in my cupboard that I know are going to nourish me. Now, I live with other people in my house, and there's things in my fridge that I don't always put there. But I'm going to bring the things that are good for me into my home, and I'm going to do the work regardless of what anyone else is doing in the home. So just remember, we all have to live with ourselves. We are the only ones that can take care of us. It is literally up to us to help ourselves. And I know a lot of us, we're givers. We like to help other people, and that is amazing. But just remember, when you're not taking care of you, you're really not giving properly to other people either, and you're doing them a disservice as well as yourself. So remember, take care of your temple first, then you can properly help other people. Just like your stewardess says, put your oxygen mask on, right? Because you have to breathe first. So take care of you first, and that's what treating your body as a temple means to me. So, of course, we know eating this way is more likely to reduce the risks of cancer, heart disease, and stroke, and all of these other diseases. And it can be cheaper and healthier. And if you'll notice on the reset recipes, we have, if you've done it before, we didn't have this last time. We have a sweet snack or dessert section. Now, these are all just like the waffles were, whole, simple, plant-based ingredients. The chocolate chips are the date-sweetened chocolate chips. So these are guilt-free treats. There's no need to feel bad if you're having one because they are reset-friendly recipes. So something that really has helped me in the process of switching over to this plant-based lifestyle is having things like these in my freezer. So I will make a bunch of them, keep them in the freezer, so that way when I am having a sweet tooth or a craving, I have something in the freezer and I'm not going to cheat because this is much better and healthier and makes me feel better. So if you have it on hand, you're less likely to go out and buy it or get it in an impulse. So just keep that in mind. Pick one of them to try and experiment with and keep them in your freezer so that you can have something to help you with those cravings. And also, you would be surprised when you're switching over, even if you're still eating desserts, it's healthy, it's whole food, it's supplying your body with nutrients, so you're still gonna feel better, you're still gonna have energy, and you're not gonna have the crash or the bloating or those other symptoms that you normally would have. And last but not least, health begins within. So, of course, what we're putting in matters, not just food, but what we're listening to. So who do we listen to? What kinds of things are we filling our mind with, our body with, our soul with? So just something to keep in mind. The plant-based reset is completely about food, but also just be mindful of what you're listening to, the information that you're taking in, and if it's negative or positive, is it feeding your soul? Especially while you're doing a program like this, if you are having detoxification symptoms and you're not feeling that good, you want to make sure you surround yourself with as much positivity as you can. So try to stay away from negative people. Pick a time when you know you'll have time to meal prep so that you can stay on track. And then ask a friend or a family member to do it with you, or at least to try the recipes with you. And if you're still too afraid to try the reset, maybe just try with a recipe. Just make one of the recipes and see how it is, see if you like it, and see if you can get down with it. So thank you all for coming. That is pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
the tip was if you end up with a detox headache, to put your feet in hot water, or the old saying to, if you had a headache, to go wash the dishes because the hot water pulls. And absolutely, toxins, for instance, in your body, your cells have receptors for minerals like zinc, selenium, sulfur. But those receptors will also take things like mercury and toxins. And when your body takes the toxin, so if your cells are full of nutrients, you kind of have a barrier against toxins because the toxins can't really get in. But if you're nutrient deficient, now you become really receptive to toxins. And once the toxins get in the cell, like a mercury, it's really hard to get out of the cell. And even when you give it the nutrient, now it won't take the nutrient. But when you flood the body with nutrients, that's when it will let go of the toxin and take the nutrient. And that's a good example of like why hot springs, for example, soaking in a sulfur hot spring, will help you detox because you're getting way more sulfur into the bloodstream through the skin than you ever would in a normal day-to-day activity. So you're flooding your body with that nutrient. That's also why Max Gerson, the Gerson therapy, that's why his cancer treatment worked really, really well. People got stage 4 patients, everybody had given up on him, would go to his clinic, and the way he was able to help cancer patients was by giving them huge amounts of nutrients. And he would give them vegetable juices, fresh vegetable juices every hour, 13 a day. And what he would find is because the body was so flooded with nutrients, it would start letting go of toxins, and tumors would be breaking up, and cancer tissue would be breaking up. But then he had a new problem. Now the body's flooded with toxins, and people were getting sick from the toxins in the bloodstream. And so he was like, I got to figure out how to get toxins out faster, and that's when he found out about coffee enemas. So we're back to the poop topic. Full circle, it always comes back. It always comes back. Nicole, this is awesome. Your program's amazing. And that's exactly why this works, is because you're flooding your body with nutrients and you're giving it a break from the crap. Other questions?
Yes, definitely. I would say if it's an issue for you, utilize the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen, but now there is a peel that they are spraying on the produce, and we do not have that here. Our produce manager is very diligent about our produce. And a peel, it's basically a...
it's a fat coating.
Thank you.
It's basically a saturated fat that they're spraying on produce, and it's even approved for organic produce. And it's not a good, like, the whole point of organic produce is that it's the way God made it, not the way man screwed it up, right? So if you're going to go spray something on it, it's not organic, but it's been approved. But we've communicated with our vendors, and we said we're not doing it. They had a few different vendors that were shipping them stuff with this sprayed on it, and they got so much feedback that they just cut those lines completely because people didn't want it. But we're looking at making sure that it's not on anything that we would ever order, and we've let our vendors know that we don't want it.
Yeah, and you'll have to ask them if they their distributors allow produce with it on there. Yes, and
Appeal, APEEL, and I have flyers on it downstairs.
Yeah,
that I
we'll
can
show
give
you those downstairs for sure. But yes, organic and non-GMO is always best.
So here's the thing, right? Like, if I'm trying to get nutrients in the body and I'm trying to get toxins out, it doesn't make sense to put things in my body that have more toxins, right? So if I can get away from herbicides and pesticides sprayed on my food, that's going to go a long ways. They did a study in Europe with a family, 200 families. I'm sorry, it wasn't 200 families. It was a handful of families. And they tested their urine. It was full of over 200 herbicides and pesticides in their urine. And then they went organic for 1 month, and a very trace amount was left in their urine after just 30 days.
And I want to encourage you to try an organic strawberry and a regular strawberry at the same time, and you will taste the difference. You will taste the chemicals on the conventional strawberry. And that's the same, honestly, with apples, peaches, pears, all of the things. I've been eating organic for years now, and when I go to a barbecue or somewhere else, I can't really eat a lot of the food, so I'm always going for the fruit and vegetable trays because at least I know that's the only safe thing I can have. Every single time, if there's strawberries or any kind of berries or something with soft skin, you can taste those chemicals. And most of the time, I just don't even eat them anymore. I just bring my own stuff because I just don't want to put it in my body, honestly.
Totally, and I think the flavor is way worse too, personally. I think the flavor is way fuller. After eating organic for many years now, if I eat conventional, I'm like, no wonder people don't want to eat fruits and vegetables. It tastes like crap.
Yeah, and some of them have like no flavor either. They're not even that sweet.
And the other thing is it's way more high in nutrients. Organic fruits and vegetables are way higher in nutrients. So what's the point? Like, if I'm gonna eat the fruits and vegetables, I want to get the most amount of nutrients and the least amount of toxins, or else what's the point, right? Like, and I was gonna say too that this 7-day reset is part of the health challenge, but it's for week 4 of the health challenge. But it's not a required part of the health challenge. It's an optional part. So for those of you doing the health challenge, you can do this in the last week of the challenge. You could do it for 2 days. You could do it for 7 days. You could do it for 10 days, whatever you want. You could do it for 30 days. But the point is that sometimes people are just doing the challenge for the first time, and this is like, okay, just enough for me to do the health challenge. But once you've done 9 of them, like we have, you start to say, okay, how can I go to the next level? So that's kind of where this program comes in, is when people are ready to go to the next level, this is here for you.
And it's a tool to use anytime. Keep the reset anytime you feel like you hit a plateau or you're not doing good or maybe you fell off. Do a day or 3 of the reset. See what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to take this thing to the floor, and I'm going to grab my camera on my phone, and I'm going to follow you as close as I can so I can get the audio.
Okay.
And then everybody else can tag along. If you got to go, that's fine too. The automatic doors are on exit, so it'll let you out, but it won't let you back in.
And if you do want to buy any of the ingredients
I'll be at the till
after we do the
afterwards.
tour, we will check you out.
Yep.
I'll just open these. We'll start here, of course, in my favorite area with all of these fresh, whole, alive, wonderful foods. Cabbage is probably one of the
Here, I'll go this way so you can talk to
the
that.
most because it's high in protein too. And that's another thing about leafy greens. They're very high in protein. Spinach has like 5 or 6 grams of protein per cup. So if you're feeling like, where am I going to get my protein from? Just remember cabbage, leafy greens, broccoli, even cauliflower, mushrooms, they all have protein. Even fruits have trace amounts of amino acids. So just keep that in mind. Everything you're eating has a few milligrams or grams of protein in it, so you will get adequate amounts of protein when you're eating all of these plants. Open this one too, just so you can see. We have all of these fresh herbs here. We have the local sprouts. We have these other sprouts. All of our leafy greens. Even Brussels sprouts, more herbs, and of course, more greens. So this is going to be the best area to shop in to get your produce. And honestly, I would stock up if I were you, because if you do have detox symptoms, you're going to want to have apples or oranges or celery or carrots or whatever. You're going to want to keep them on hand so that you can have them and not falter from what you're trying to do. Okay. Oh yes, and fresh ginger and fresh turmeric too are right here also. And those are in our smoothies. So if you need fresh ginger or turmeric root, they're up here. And then just right over here, we have dates. They're on the recipe for the desserts. So we have dates and unsweetened raisins over here in our bulk section. And then if you were gonna get any rice or beans or anything, that is also right around the corner in the bulk section. We have all these different organic grains and beans, plus right over here we have all of these herbs and spices. So you can fill up your own jar or you can fill up a baggie. But that's one of the biggest things with the reset, you guys. Herbs and spices, they're gonna be your best friends. So use plenty of them, play around with flavors, experiment. But definitely, if you don't have herbs and spices, get you some, because that's what's going to help your cooking and help your flavors and make you want to keep going and you enjoy your
And you can refill your containers here pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
Compared to buying a brand new jar for $5 or whatever, you can fill them up. It's like, depending on the spice, but big savings.
Yep, and then we also have the organic herbs. You can do teas and things here. And then let's move along this way. Sweet potatoes and squash. We have sweet potato recipes and the spaghetti squash recipes. So those are all gonna be right here. Regular potatoes are in the bins here. Oh, and while we're over here, our juice bar grab and go. So you'll know that if you don't want to cook and you want to stay on the reset, or you find yourself out and about and your schedule got messed up, we have all of these salads in this grab and go cooler. The quinoa salad is amazing, the kale salad. And then of course, just try not to get a salad with egg or meat on it, but veggies, nuts, and seeds, just while you're doing the reset. If you're not on the reset, those are fine, but only for the reset.
And they can make you a custom salad here as well.
Yep, and the girls can make you custom anything, but we also have soups that are reset friendly. Just ask me or Marilyn and we'll let you know, but most of the stuff is reset friendly. All right, let's move along over here and I'll show you a couple other things that we have on our shopping list. So we'll just stop by our protein powder aisle. I really do love the Sun Warrior. It's really clean. You'll notice we're paying attention to the ingredient label, not the nutrition label. So this is just pea protein, hemp protein, goji berries, cocoa powder, medium chain triglycerides from coconut oil. Then we have a little organic guar gum, which is like one of the only ones that is okay. A lot of the other gums are bad. They gunk up our intestinal tract, but organic guar gum is actually a fiber, and that one is fine coming from an organic source.
So we're looking for real words that you know what they are, real foods
that you can pronounce.
That you don't have to Google to find out what they are.
Yep, exactly. And so I like the plant Sun Warrior protein because it's super clean, but it's also a really good bang for your buck. You see it's only $40 and there's 30 servings in here. A lot of the other proteins that you find are $40 with like 15 servings. So you get an actual 30-day supply when you're buying this, which is a really good deal. And then of course, if you are doing the health challenge, you get an extra 10% off, which will help a lot too. And then I really do like the 4 Sigmatic proteins as well, and they're on sale this month. These ones are only 15 servings, but they are really high quality. They're the functional mushroom proteins, and they're sweetened with coconut sugar, so it's a low glycemic index sweetener. And this peanut butter, if you like peanut butter, is amazing. And I'll tell you, on the chia seed pudding recipe, I put peanut butter protein in it with the blueberries one day just because I wanted more protein. It was amazing. So if you like peanut butter, you might want to try that stuff. All right, guys, moving on back to our
greens powder
section. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important things, and I think I forgot to talk about it upstairs too.
That's okay.
So, when you're green inside, you're clean inside. Dr. Bernard Jensen said that, and it's so true. Showering on the inside is drinking a green drink is how we can shower on the inside. So, any of these greens will do. We have chemical-free bodies greens, of course, super awesome. We have just Barlean's greens, and I think this is just barley greens. Oh no, this is a mixture of greens too. But pretty much all of these greens will do. If you don't want to drink the green powder by itself, you can put it in a smoothie. But I highly recommend trying it first by itself and seeing if you can hack it, because it's so good for alkalizing our pH to help with digestion. Mm-hmm. But greens are the craving antidote. Mm-hmm. So if you're craving, especially sugar, greens, you want more greens in your life. And they're also high in magnesium and minerals, so they can help with cravings because of that reason. You're replenishing those minerals in the body.
Yep, when you give your body the nutrients it needs, it stops craving the crap it doesn't.
And you could even do beet powder if you wanted to also, because beets are so amazing for our heart and our cardiovascular system. They have nitric oxide in them, which floods our bloodstream and opens up everything. So beets are another good option to put in your smoothie. If you
My absolute favorite greens are the Green 85 and the barley green juice and the Ancient Nutrition super greens.
Yeah, I like that.
And Ancient Nutrition is a big sale right now on the end cap there.
Yeah, right behind you guys right there. Okay, so we went over the greens, the protein. Let's go show you the frozen wild blueberries back here.
That light is in the far right.
Oh, got this one right here. Okay, so we have the big 3-pound bags of frozen wild blueberries. These are also on sale this month, and these are my favorite. Like I said, they're the most adaptogenic. So if you don't want to eat a lot of fruit on the reset, at least get yourself some wild blueberries. And then of course, all the other frozen berries, if you're feeling like you want to add any of these to a smoothie, feel free, like I said, to experiment, mix and match, and make it your own. And then something that's not on the reset that I really want to show you guys really quick though, or if you don't want to make it and you want something sweet but you want it healthy, these little Nats cakes are amazing. Let me read you the ingredients. Dates, cashews, almonds, coconut milk, agave, mango, coconut oil, lime, and that's it. So, super clean, super healthy. If you're having that little afternoon slump, this would be a really good treat instead of a sugary donut or coffee or something like that, and you're gonna get good nutrition from it because it's whole, alive foods. So just keep that in mind. If you are wanting something sweet but you don't want to make those recipes, grab yourself a couple of those for the freezer.
Do you have some favorite herbal teas?
Oh, yep, right here. Thank you, Blake, keeping me on track. So this is the lemon tea. If you don't want to squeeze lemon into your water, this is a really good one because not only does it have lemon, but it has burdock and stinging nettle and some dandelion, which is also really great for liver function and gallbladder function. But pretty much, this is my favorite brand, the Traditional Medicinals, because
Yep.
if you've heard about tea bags and plastics, you just can't trust a lot of companies these days. These for sure do not have any microplastics in the tea bags. So
Yeah, I love their
this would be my
turmeric.
favorite one. And
It's really good.
And
Their dandelion, ginger is amazing for you. And like you said, the everyday detox one, some of my favorites.
And if you don't like lemon or you can't have lemon, because some people actually can't do lemon, you can do any other flavor. So just keep that in mind as long as it's herbal and you're not putting sugar in it first thing in the morning. Because that first drink, first thing in the morning, no sugar, no sweetener, just the lemon water or the tea.
No whiskey, no.
Definitely not. Okay, let's go into our baking aisle and I'll show you the vanilla powder. So I like this one right here. It's just pure ground vanilla beans, the La Faza one. And this is the only one that is reset friendly. And then of course we have the maple syrup up there on the top shelf. And we also have like some molasses or agave. And then like maple sugar crystals is another great sweetener that's a lower glycemic alternative, or some date sugar too.
Yeah, and then we have some local honey too that's really good.
Oh yeah, I think
It's over here in the peanut butter.
yeah, okay. Well,
Excuse me,
we're
Jennifer.
going over to this aisle now. I'll show you the sprouted oats. So these are the ones I like the best because they've already been sprouted, and you know we talk about sprouting our grains and our beans because then our body is able to digest them better and take up the nutrients from them. So these are going to be my top choices, but you can also use the other organic oats if you don't want to do the sprouted for whatever reason. I just really recommend you do these if you are having digestive issues because these are going to be a lot better for you to assimilate. So there is our oats. And of course, if you want some cereal, this is literally just coconut and coconut water and coconut meat. So this is a nice little topping on yogurt or something else like that.
That's what I'm talking about for ingredients right there. That's what I love to see is 2 ingredients or whatever it is.
Okay.
Organic coconut water, organic coconut meat, organic palm starch. That focus is really bad, but that's real words that you know what they are, and they are food too. Bonus.
Here's the local honey from Hanes. So this is the only one that we have that's local to us from Hanes. So if anyone wants local, it's right here. Otherwise, we do have the Manuka and then the other like local raw Oregon honeys there. This jam, if for some reason you want to put jam on your waffle, this is just sweetened with fruit, no sugar. So the St. Doll flour is the jam to get. And then nut and seed butter, I should have showed you that over in the bulk section, but you guys know where that is, where you can get nut and seed butter, or you can get it here, of course, too.
Yeah, there's a couple brands there that are just peanuts and salt, or one of them's just peanuts.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz is really good, and Acadia.
Just no added sugar.
Yep, that's
or
what you want.
oils. Okay, and then over here really quick, we have our yogurt too, so let me show you that. So I really like this Harmless Harvest is my favorite unsweetened plain. This is a plant-based reset. I said no animal products, but if anybody was here and made yogurt from Tim's class, that will be the only dairy or animal products allowed because you have the bacteria culture in there and it's fine. So if you did make your own yogurt, you can eat that yogurt, that's fine.
What about the Cocoa June?
I like this Cocoa June, the plain one, but I think this had sugar in it. Yeah,
Two of
there
the
is.
flavors do,
Yeah,
and two of them
these
don't.
two have sugar, but these two do not.
Yeah.
So these two are reset friendly, the plain and the chamomile. And then all of these Cocoa Yo's, there's 2 servings in each of these containers. These are just coconut and no sugar in those, so that's a really good one too.
Nicole, I have a question.
Yes.
Could you also do the kefir? If you did the
Oh, yes, yeah, if you did the kefir. Yeah, anything you made from that class you can do during the reset, that's fine for sure. And let's see, are we missing anything? Oh, the wild Atlantic dulse, I also forgot to talk about.
Yeah, that's over with herbs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we
and
have
right
it
here.
Right here, too.
Mhm.
So, dulse is something I tell you you can put in your smoothie or on your lunch or dinner. And the reason for that is because it is amazing. So, it actually acts like a pearl. We eat dulse, and dulse encapsulates toxins and helps us move them out of our body. So, dulse is wonderful. It smells a little fishy, but if you just start with a little bit, you won't even taste it. And it kind of has a salty taste.
Does it have iodine?
Yes, it's like the only naturally occurring iodine.
pepper or something, I turn around and use milk.
This one is my favorite, and we have plenty here.
It's also in the bulk.
While we're right here, this is just coconut and coconut meat too, and these are really good wraps. If you want a wrap for your lunch, if you want to put veggies or hummus or something in there, I do that sometimes too to keep it easy. So, anyways, I think that is everything from the reset. Does anybody have any questions, or do you notice anything we didn't go over?
I think we're good.
Wondering about the appeal.
Yeah, I can get some flyers
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
I'll
Yeah.
show you where those-
I think we should give Nicole a round of applause. Great job, Nicole. Amazing.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys decide to try it, let me know because I would love to help you along.
The information provided in this show is intended for your general knowledge only and is not medical advice. If you have or suspect you have a specific medical condition or disease, please consult your healthcare provider. If your provider has a strong understanding of nutrition and holistic health, even better. The opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of Nature's Pantry.